Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with
The Devil's Daughter.
Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. This is an adventure with unique gameplay that blends investigation, action and exploration. It will test the limits of your nerves and intelligence. Yeah, this game is not for the faint of heart. The puzzles can be devilishly difficult, and the plot is full of twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. You'll have to track down evil in the darkest corners of London while playing as the great detective and untangle a web of intrigue leading to the final stunning revelation about the evil that lurks in the city. Is it real evil or is it just Scooby-Doo level evil? I don't know. Well, I do, but this is not a channel of spoilers. This is a channel of games and potato salad, approved by your sister. Borderlands 3. You blast through weird worlds and enemies as one of 4 Vault Hunters, the ultimate treasure-seeking badasses of the Borderlands, each with deep skill trees, abilities and customization. So in this looter-shooter RPG you will play solo or join the battle with friends to take on an epic enemies, score loads of loot and save your home from the most ruthless cult leaders in the galaxy. With bazillions of guns and gadgets, every fight is an opportunity to score new gear, and that gear is more than crazy. Firearms with self-propelling bullet shields? Check. Rifles that spawn fire-spewing volcanoes? Obviously. Guns that grow legs and chase down enemies while cursing? Yeah, got that too. On Steam, Borderlands 3 is an owner of very positive reviews, so it's a no-brainer if you like shoot and loot. Just grab the game and be happy. Make your enemies unhappy by making them die. City of Brass. This is a first-person action-adventure from senior Bioshock developers. Here, armed with a sword and a whip, you will lash and slash, bait and trap your way to the heart of Arabian Nights-themed metropolis, or face certain death as time runs out. Yeah, about that. The game is roguelite, and you will have only a limited time to slay all the genies, Alibabas and skeletons. In general, the game is like Dark Messiah of Might and Magic set in a fantasy Middle Eastern mythology, and mixed with speedrunning and permadeath mechanics. City of Brass is not very long. It will take only about 6 hours to beat, but let's be honest, it's a simple game and 6 hours is definitely enough, and the price is more than nice. House Flipper. Don't get me wrong, but I think that everyone should play this game. Not because it is immensely fun, well it is, but because you will get so much knowledge on the renovation, design and even how to use tools. For example, at which end to hold the hammer, at which end to hold the nail, at which, well, you got the point. So here you learn about materials, colors, tools and how to make them work together to create wonderful houses, rooms and even bomb shelters. Regardless if you plan to create the house of your dreams, help the residents with their renovation, or feel the need to smack some walls, House Flipper is a perfect game for that. But as I've said before, especially for the knowledge. The game is relaxing and some even say stress relieving, so don't think twice, the price is really nice. GRIS. Here you will play as a young girl lost in her own world, dealing with a painful experience in her life. Probably someone put a slice of pineapple in her potato salad, and she can't recover after that.
Oh, the horror.
So as the story unfolds, you will grow emotionally and see the world in a different way, revealing new paths to explore using your new abilities. Here you won't encounter any enemies, there is no danger or death. And just look how beautiful this game is. The art style is absolutely stunning. People on Steam are saying that not only the art, but absolutely everything in this game is great. Music, gameplay, and even the story will leave you gobsmacked. And it's not so hard to believe in those words. Just look at it. There aren't many things that are as beautiful as this game. Well, except boobs. Sorry, GRIS, you lose on this one. Blasphemous. This game is a true work of art. I don't think that any of you will argue with me about that. Art-wise, this is one of the best examples of Metroidvania and Souls genre collision. Interesting thing is that the major influence of Blasphemous' story and design was the religious art of the city of Seville in Spain, and also works of famous Spanish painters, especially Francisco Goya and his 200-year-old painting called A Procession of Flagellants, or Flagellants, I have no idea how to say it. If you want some nightmares before bed, just Google Goya's paintings. They are as great as they are creepy. People on Steam are saying that the game has incredible dynamic music and amazing voice acting. Also, some dudes are seriously stating that Blasphemous was a gateway drug to a 2D indie platformer games from AAA Souls-likes, so it can really expand your horizons, but mostly here you will just die and die again. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Entertaining music, fast-paced gameplay and RPG elements makes this game really great. I have played countless hours of it and I enjoyed every single one of them. Just be sure that you are a calm person, because this game is hard. Not as hard as Diamonds or Tardigrades for example, but hard enough to make you rage quit a few times. But then you will come back, because Crypt of the Necrodancer is not about the destination, it's all about the journey, which will be very short for you. And the game has permadeath as well. I have died about 100 times by now and probably lost a bit of my brain cells in the process. Well, jokes aside, the best thing here is the music. The name of the game kinda suggests that this is a rhythm game, and that rhythm is amazing, especially when the merchant starts to sing. That is priceless. And the conclusion would be that Crypt of the Necrodancer is one of the most entertaining roguelite games I have ever played. You have my all recommendations. Beyond Two Souls. Here you will take on the role of Jodie, a woman born with a connection to a mysterious entity with incredible powers. And I'm talking about real powers, not like those possessed by your uncle. You know, his incredible power to drink a few liters of vodka and still drive home. No, the thing is real here, and your actions will determine Jodie's fate as she faces extraordinary challenges and danger on a journey to discover the truth of who she really is. If you like games similar to Life is Strange or Detroit Become Human, this is another great title for you, but with a little bit more action. And if you are in doubt, you can download a free demo version on Steam and see what this game is really all about. Besiege. This is a physics-based building game in which you construct medieval siege engines and lay waste to immense fortresses and peaceful villages. Build a machine which can crush windmills, wipe out battalions of brave soldiers and transport valuable resources, defending your creation against cannons, archers and everything else. Game looks beautiful, the art style is 10 ColdBeers out of 10. And the same is difficulty, at least at the beginning, because my machines did more harm to themselves than to their surroundings. Anyway, I promise you that after a bit of practice you will build your incredible mechanical potato of terror and destroy some peaceful castles. Kerbal Space Program. While the second part of the game is still a disaster, the first part will never fail to entertain us. This game is fun, but also it is very hard. Here you'll have to create your own spaceship, and rocket science is anything but easy. It's not your sister.
Wait, what?
Anyway, building a spaceship here reminds me of creating abominations in Spore. Every detail can be scaled, turned and attached to another detail, so you have to do everything right in order to take a space flight. The game has a really good physics engine, so you can take off successfully with a giant unicorn or something, but if you practice enough, you can send a giant potato salad bowl to the moon. Nah, you probably can't, but you can try. Disco Elysium. This is one of the greatest role-playing experiences you will ever have, but play it only if you like reading a lot and like games without combat. You will not find any here. Well, I mean combat that is not a result of your dialogue choices. Your character will do things automatically based on the decisions you make, and those decisions of yours are not always very smart, and Disco Elysium just lets you do stupid things, which is kinda scary because suddenly you may realize that you just wanted to test the waters, but instead you actually made the decision that will have grim consequences. And by grim, I mean really grim. On some of those occasions, the game just ends. You may see game over screen without even playing an hour. And the game is like,
I told you, but you pushed me hard, so the consequences are yours to swallow.
Yeah, actually Disco Elysium has 3 different endings and 12 unique game overs. Those I talked about before. So always, and I mean always, think twice before doing something stupid. And then think twice while playing Disco Elysium as well. Because no matter how stupid the decision you want to make is, the game may let you do it. This War of Mine. Here you will take care of a group of civilians trying to survive in a besieged city, struggling with lack of food, medicine and constant danger from snipers and hostile scavengers. The game provides an experience of war seen from an entirely new angle. The pace of the game is imposed by the day and night cycle. During the day, snipers outside stop you from leaving your refuge, so you need to focus on maintaining your hideout, crafting, trading and taking care of your survivors. And at night, take one of your civilians on a mission to scavenge through a set of unique locations for items that will help you stay alive, you know, like medicine or a box of beer. XCOM 2. What can I say, this is a legendary turn-based game, a franchise to which all similar games are compared. So here 20 years have passed since world leaders offered an unconditional surrender to alien forces. XCOM, the planet's last line of defense, was left decimated and scattered. Now the aliens rule Earth, building breathtaking cities that promise a brilliant future with lots of potato salad for humanity, but at the same time concealing a sinister agenda of putting pineapples in every food you like and eliminating all who dissent descend from their new order. All you have to do is to regain control of the Earth. It may sound easy, and it is, because you are awesome and aliens suck balls. Show them who's the boss. Just keep in mind that the game is addictive. I've seen guys with 4,000 hours of gameplay on record. That's half a year of gameplay, and if you include sleep and bathroom breaks, you get a whole year. That is crazy, be careful. Thief Simulator. If you always wanted to become a thief, good for you. Dive into the life of crime, don't hesitate. You got this. Or you can play this game where you can train and become a thief before becoming a real thief. I'm kidding, of course.
Or am I?
You'll steal in a free-roam sandbox neighborhoods. You'll have to observe your target and gather information that will help you with the burglary. Gather your courage, take the challenge and rob the best secured houses. Buy some high-tech burglar equipment and learn new thief tricks. You can also sell stolen goods and do anything that a real thief does. Stories Untold. This is a narrative-driven adventure game. It combines a mix of classic text adventure and ferocious point-and-click action. You'll find 4 short stories packaged together into a single mysterious anthology. The game is strong with 80s retro nostalgia. It is a classic text adventure formula enhanced by a few modern touches. Overall, the game is kind of a horror-ish experience. People on Steam are saying that even this game is short, it has a compelling story and also gives the Stranger Things vibes. Although for some people, a game-breaking bug sometimes occurs on the first episode. That bug has been in the game for almost 5 years now.
Ouch.
Anyway, if you are among the unlucky ones, don't forget that you can refund the game if you don't have 2 hours of gameplay accumulated. That stands for every game on Steam. But those bugs are pretty rare, because Untold Stories has very positive reviews on Steam. You may even feel bad that you paid this little for the game. Alan Wake. On Steam it has 90% of positive reviews, so that should keep your attention here. And while Alan Wake is a bit older game, it only means that it stood the trials of time really well. It is presented in the style of a TV series and features action as well as storytelling sequences. As you dive deeper and deeper into the mystery, you'll face overwhelming odds, plot twists and cliffhangers. Yeah, actual cliffhangers in the game, that's cool. It's only by mastering the fight with light combat mechanic that you can stay one step ahead of the darkness. I should probably say that this is a full version of the game, with all the DLCs, improved resolution and all the other stuff you don't really care about if you never played the game. It's good, I do recommend it. Zombie Army 4: Dead War. Hitler's hordes are back for more. Abominable occult enemies, epic weapons and a harrowing new campaign for 1 to 4 players await you in 1940s Europe, as you will have to fight to save humankind from undead Armageddon. The game offers huge new levels where you uncover a sinister plan that takes you across Italy and beyond. You will fight the forces of darkness in corpse-riddled canals, survive a zombie zoo, and journey to dark, inexplicable places no person has been before and live to tell the tale. The game is also armed with the old good X-ray kill camera. You can watch in slow motion as bullets, bombs and other stuff destroy bones and flesh in a see-through vision. I ain't gonna lie, that is really satisfying. And when zombies surround you, you can fight back in melee combat as well. Game has a very positive review score, and the only thing people are mainly complaining about is that this is a third-person only game. No first-person shooting action here, sadly. Killing Floor 2. You'll descend into continental Europe, where the outbreak caused by a failed experiment has quickly spread and gained unstoppable momentum, essentially paralyzing the European Union. Well, that sucks, I live here. The monster clones are everywhere and civilization is in disarray. Communications have failed, governments have collapsed, and military forces have been systematically eradicated. The people of Europe know survival and self-preservation too well, and lucky survivors have gone into hiding. Well, all except you and your friends. You kill the monster scum and make Europe great again. You'll find a bunch of playable characters in online co-op mode, or solo mode if you are willing to brave the horrific mutants alone. Also, the game has cool versus survival game mode, a 12-player PvP match where 2 teams take turns playing humans versus monsters. The game has around 90% of positive reviews, so it's probably the shooter you were looking for. Shadow Warrior 2. You shall need to survive as a mercenary on the edge of a corrupted world. You will wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, and magic. And with these awesome tools, you will eradicate the demonic legions overwhelming the world. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op. Game features procedurally generated landscapes, powerful new weapons, armor, and arcane relics of legend. You will find an array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms. Choose your weapon based on the situation at hand and then dismantle everything that stands in your path with an advanced gore system.
You don't need to be this intact, kind sir.
The game also has destructible terrain that explodes in satisfying ways. It's like if you put the Borderlands and Doom into the Cronenberg's machine, and the Shadow Warrior would be the result of the merging. The game takes about 8 hours to beat, so the deal is really sweet. Absolutely delicious spoon of juicy potato salad. Styx, Master of Shadows. This is an infiltration game with RPG elements, taking place in a dark fantasy universe where you sneak, steal and assassinate your way through as Styx, 200 years old goblin. Here you will be completing various missions and at the same time avoiding detection. Sneak in the shadows, assassinate your targets in close combat, or, you know, orchestrate accidents. RPG mechanics let you unlock new powerful skills, impressive special moves, and optimized equipment that will grant you spectacular powers such as invisibility, which is not meant for any creepy activities you just had in mind. You can also buy second part of the game. It is discounted as well, just be careful don't acquire the collection bundle that includes a DLC. You see, that DLC is just a weapon and an outfit, nothing more. Also, it's not cosmetics only. These items are quite powerful, so in a way it's a pay-to-win DLC. That is a blasphemy beyond any words. The Last Campfire. This is an adventure, a story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. You'll travel deeper into the lands beyond the dark forest and overcome the adversities before you. Discover beautiful wilderness filled with lost inhabitants, strange creatures, and mysterious ruins. 97% of all people who bought this game are recommending it to you. People on Steam are talking that this is a beautiful story-driven game filled with great art and even greater music. The puzzles game throws at you ranges from fairly easy to a medium. Nothing will bend your brains inside out in this game. If you fail here somehow, it's a pure problem of your IQ, I'm sorry. If you are in doubt, you can try the demo version on Steam for free. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. This is a hardcore tactical stealth game set in medieval Japan around the Edo period. You will take control of a team of deadly specialists and sneak into the shadows between dozens of enemies. Choose your approach when infiltrating mighty castles, snowy mountain monasteries, and hidden forest camps. Set traps, poison your opponents, or completely avoid enemy contact. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score, meaning that for this price it is a masterpiece. Although keep in mind that the game sometimes may prove to be insanely difficult and some missions are beyond hard to crack. So be sure that you have not forgotten how to use that tiny, not very important organ between your ears, because you will need it more than ever. People on Steam are talking that if you like classic Commandos or Desperados 3 for example, this game for sure is your spoon of potato salad. Far Lone Sails. This is a vehicle adventure game where you travel across a dried-out ocean following the tracks of a once thriving civilization. Through an array of roadblocks and hazardous weather, you need to keep your vessel going. While doing that, a lot of questions are circling in your mind. Where will this journey take you? Are you the last of your kind? What happened to the ocean? Will you taste potato salad ever again? Will they finally make another Edge of Tomorrow movie? Can we, with the help of AI, make more Firefly series in the future? And why, when you drink 1 liter of beer, you piss out 2 liters of piss? I guess if you crack the latter, the Nobel Prize would be yours without competition. So it's only you, your machine, and the big nothing. Far is an art from the big A. True fart, if I may say, but in a good sense. Endzone, a world apart. A group of terrorists blew up nuclear power plants around the globe and plunged the world into chaos. Only a few were able to escape into underground facilities called the Endzones. Well, in the real world, if that happened, it would suck, but it wouldn't be a civilization-ending event. Anyway, this is a game. 150 years later, mankind returns to the surface and, surprise, surprise, under your command. So, poor humanity is doomed. I'm sorry, no offense. Okay, a little offense. Here, in an extremely hostile environment full of radioactivity, contaminated rain and vicious climate change, you will have to prove your worth as a leader.
Good luck with that.
So you will have to build a settlement, gather and refine resources, send expeditions to forgotten places, and much more. People on Steam are talking that the game is really fun if you like city builders, but it has complex UI system and the lore part is really weak. Also, the game is really hard. Anyway, 77% of players who try the Endzone are recommending this game for you. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. In this third-person action-adventure game you will play as Star-Lord, and thanks to your bold yet questionable leadership you have persuaded an oddball crew of unlikely heroes to join you. Some jerk, surely not you, has set off a chain of catastrophic events, and only you can hold the unpredictable Guardians together long enough to fight off total interplanetary meltdown. For this you will have to use element blasters, tag team beatdowns, jet boot powered dropkicks, even put pineapple into potato salad. Nothing is off limits. Well, I'm kidding. The last thing surely is. That is a jail time guaranteed, and if you think it's all going to plan, you will be in for a world of surprises, with the consequences of your actions guaranteed to keep the Guardians on their toes. The game is one of the most beloved Marvel Universe games, with positive reviews hovering way above 90%. Homeworld Remastered Collection. €3 for this classic goodness? Count me in. Pack includes both first and second remastered Homeworld games and Homeworld Remastered multiplayer. I don't know if someone actually plays it, but after this sale there should be at least a few people that can humiliate you in 1 versus 1 battle. You know, there are at least 90 people at all times who play this game, so some of them may want to try their luck in PvP as well. You can build more than 100 spaceships, enjoy them in 4K resolution and entertain yourself with mod support and mod tools. So you can make your own potato spaceships and join the battle to conquer the space called Beristan, or download some models created by way more talented people than you are. No offense. I played classic Homeworld some 20 years ago and I can still remember the wonderful soundtrack this game provides. Absolutely 11 out of 10. The atmosphere of this game was literally out of this world, or, you know, out of this Homeworld. Mordheim, City of the Damned. Set in a Warhammer World's decimated Empire City, this is a turn-based tactical game where you lead warbands into bloody and lethal skirmishes. The game blends RPG elements, fast-paced tactical combat, and unit customization. The story of the game revolves after an event when a twin-tailed comet crashed on Mordheim. The City of Damned turned into a terrifying battlefield where rival warbands fight fiercely for the control of key neighborhoods, looking for glory and fortune by acquiring the very valuable comet fragments. You will loot items and weapons hidden in the ruins or take those from the puny bodies of your dead enemies. People on Steam are talking that the game is slow but hard. It has some minor bugs, it's not flawless by any means, but for this price you can't argue. It's a great deal for any XCOM style game fan. Narita Boy. This is a retro-futuristic game where you are Narita Boy, a legendary digital hero in an epic quest of simultaneous dimensions. The digital kingdom is under attack and you are the last hope of survival, so you will have to explore a vast world to find a techno sword, the only effective weapon against the enemy. That sounds nuts and also really cool. People on Steam are saying that Narita Boy has great music and huge variety of monsters and vehicles. You can even ride a floppy disk. How cool is that?
Not as cool as riding your sister.
Oh, come on, don't say that. Although the least favorite part for almost everyone is platforming. Most of the players agree that dying by just jumping is way more common than dying from some monster, and that irritates a lot of people. Also, the story sounds cooler than it actually is. But in general, the game is a proud owner of a very positive review score, and that is always a good sign. Jurassic World Evolution 2. You can build your very own Jurassic Park just like in the first part, but a bit more beautiful, fancier, and a bit better. You know, that number at the end of the game's name has to mean something, and it means more species of dinosaurs as well, like at least 2. So at first, it's all about fun, interesting creatures and happy customers, until some brown substance from the bottom of Beerosaurus hits the fan. And by that I mean that life always finds the way, and that is kinda the opposite of life for everyone else in your park. You may think that the raptors will escape the cage and will start feasting on your customers, but the reality is way more cruel. There's almost no way that the first human eaten in your beautiful park by a potato raptor would be just a terrible accident. You know, the fault of cheap fence or stupid worker forgetting to close the gates. Nah, it will be you. You will save the game and then let the creatures go. Because after a while you will get bored.
And only blood can entertain you.
Phantom Doctrine. I think most of you have never heard about this title. You'll get more than 40 hours of single-player campaign, featuring a rich plot with numerous historical events and characters to bring the terrifying reality of the Cold War to life. So basically this is an XCOM game, but instead of aliens you have spies. Mostly positive review rating is because of the flaws in the mechanics, and for various glitches. For example, when hidden bodies miraculously disappear, just like your money on every Steam sale. But people who liked the game liked it very much. I found several reviews with about 200 hours of game time, and that is impressive, meaning that this may be a hidden gem for any turn-based game lover, and today the price is just right. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing Final Cut. This is definitely one of the most known action RPGs out there. This version of the game is a collection of 3 standalone episodes told as one continuous story, with 6 playable classes and a new endgame mode with a huge variety of open missions. People on Steam are saying that this is a very addictive game. Not as addictive as potato salad, but there is a huge chance that you will have a lot of great time. Although it has some minor problems, lame targeting system and a bit shallow character builds. Also, you may encounter some bugs and glitches along the way as well. But anyway, this game is really entertaining and also huge. The campaign is offering over 50 hours of gameplay. Also, if you are in doubt, you can download a free demo version at first and try it out. Vaporum. This is a grid-based single-player and single-character dungeon crawler RPG set in an original steampunk setting. The game is obviously inspired by old-school games like Dungeon Master, The Eye of the Beholder series, and the most recent Legend of Grimrock. So here, stranded in the middle of an ocean in front of a gigantic tower, you have to find out what the place is, what happened here, and most importantly, who are you and where the secret beer stash is. The game looks beautiful, so if you like dungeon crawlers, keep in mind that this one has very positive reviews on Steam and is a true gem for your collection. The Station. This is a first-person sci-fi mystery set on a space station built to study a sentient alien civilization. Assuming the role of a recon specialist, you will have to unravel a mystery which will decide the fate of 2 civilizations. The station revolves around an alien planet. Down below lies civilization challenging everything we know about biology, chemistry, physics, religion, and answering the questions man has asked throughout history. Although not everything is simple. We discovered aliens in the state of their civil war. Anyway, humans built a space station for a small 3-person crew, but the contact was lost. So that's where you step in and have to investigate what happened. Tiny and Tall, Gleipnir. This is a very well done, classic yet modern point-and-click adventure inspired by legendary LucasArts games. Here you will dive into the story that revolves around 2 barely competent and charmingly inept blacksmiths. They find themselves contractually bound to the Norse gods and have to explore this beautifully drawn handcrafted world to find unusual and magical objects. But alas, while they look for these ingredients, the sinister Loki, the trickster god, has his own plans to deal with the fellas. So here you will have to solve puzzles, talk to interesting characters, and live in a world of epic Norse legends. We Are The Dwarves. This is a real-time tactical adventure where you take control of 3 dwarven astronauts and lead them through the hordes of enemies in the depths of their universe. And just look at that price, it costs less than 1 can of beer in my local store. Still, more expensive than your sister. Anyway, this game genre-wise is a bit further from usual hack-and-slash titles because it has an active pause. Well, that pause is actually time-slowing and you can make some quick decisions in that time. People on Steam are talking that for this price you should buy at least 2 of them. But there is a danger of this game being too difficult for casual players, so keep that in mind.
Iron Danger.
This is a tactical combat game with a very cool time manipulation mechanic that blends the tactical depth of the turn-based games with the action of real-time strategy. You'll be in control of 2 characters and will use a variety of skills and your IQ to overcome the challenges. I'm not gonna lie, I tried the game and my brain was overheating all the time. The core of Iron Danger is its unique time control mechanic. You can rewind time for up to 5 seconds whenever you want, trying different strategies and combinations of moves until you find the right one for the task. Your characters can only take 2 or 3 hits at maximum before they die, so you will be rewinding all the time. In general, you can't really die here if you choose to. This is a curse and a blessing in one. Anyway, this price is really nice, although the game can become a bit grindy and repetitive. Keep that in mind as well. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Almost 90% of positive reviews left by tens of thousands of players is definitely proof that the game is done right. And I can confirm that. I played the game for several hours and I had a lot of fun. Although I had to stop playing because I got the game on my PlayStation and shooting with the gamepad was a real pain for me. I died way too often for my comfort zone, you know. Anyway, now I'm thinking of getting it on PC. The price is really nice. All I need is time. So this edition sold on Steam is called Celebration Edition, and along with the base game it includes all past and future updates and many other cosmetic things you don't really care to hear about if you never play the game. So here up to 40 players fight in massive battles, pilot huge array of vehicles, and can even participate in space combat. Also, one thing that is really uncommon for any game released by Electronic Arts is the ability to train offline. You can do that, and only with your new knowledge you can start, you know, dying in real-time multiplayer battles. Yeah, dude, don't expect to be thrown into combat with noobs like you. Everyone will have more experience than you do, but you have to collect your strength and show them who's the boss.
Probably not you.
Civilization 6. If you want to keep your virginity strong, this game is one of the best ways to never lose it. Although Civilization games are definitely not for everyone, the sheer amount of mechanics can be really overwhelming for a new player, and not everyone likes to read a lot and enjoy changing numbers and colors on the map. To be fair, for everyone who never played Civilization, the game looks like a simple, boring board game, but the trick is that this simplicity is just a tip of a dick. It's way more complex than it seems. Basically, here you can become ruler of the world by establishing and leading a best civilization from the Stone Age to the Information Age. And of course, I'm talking about the mightiest country in the world, Potato Saladistan. Little Nightmares 2. You will return to a world of charming horror, a suspense-adventure game in which you play as Mono, a young boy trapped in a world that has been distorted by the humming transmission in the distance. With a girl in the yellow raincoat as your guide, you set out to discover the dark secrets of the Signal Tower. Your journey won't be easy. You will face a host of terrible threats from the horrific residents of this world. So check the status of your mental balls, the hardness, the texture, and dive into the world of horrors and quirkiness. This game is weird, to say the least, but it is one of the best side-scroller games you will ever play. I can guarantee you that. Sniper Elite 4. You will discover a sniping freedom, experience tactical third-person combat, gameplay choice, and epic long shots across huge levels as you liberate wartime Italy from the grip of fascism. I guess those fascists you sent to the eternal gardens of Mussolinium are not so keen to be liberated and would want to crack your skull instead, so it won't be an easy jog in a park, rather a fun, intense sniping party. The plot is set across the beautiful Italian peninsula, from sun-drenched Mediterranean coastal towns to ancient forests, mountain valleys, and colossal Nazi megastructures. People are saying that the game is extremely satisfying and you can even shoot another sniper through his scope. A legendary shot, and I have no doubt that you will get an achievement for this. Overall, you will find 85 achievements here, and collecting them in this game is very fun. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe.